knowledge is a necessity for life. Okay? And that is true. That's exactly what happened in the days of Daniel. The man who knows God. Well, when I use the word demand, I'm a little bit uncertain with that, but that's the best that we can do for now. Even though when Daniel was, at the point we're talking about Daniel now, he was a teenager. If you read from chapter 1 from verse 1, it says, 10 years of being the king of Judah, came Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, to Jerusalem, a number of historical posts, notices here. It says that we know that Daniel and his other guys were taken from the royal family in Judah, and they were youths, they were young people. But who said, at least for as far as we know, by his composure and all that, he was already a full man. Okay? Now, how does he know God? What is the knowledge? What do you want to say about this knowledge of God that we need to imbibe? Two things, very quickly, is the source of the knowledge of God. To know God. How? Theologically, we will talk about the sources of theology. How do we do theology? One of the ancient philosophers says that we must start theology on a tabula rasa, on a clean slate. Well, good idea, but it still is not good enough. Because inside all of us, there's a concept and idea of God, of a higher power that is above us, of a being that is above us. And so what is the source? Well, I will by what they call it, by means of historical imagination, we will deduce that Daniel must have learned about God in Jerusalem when he was in his father's home. Remember, he was the son of one of the kings, or the last king. If you read the background to all this story in 2 Kings chapter 24 upwards. Okay? And then we find the stories there. So the source of Daniel's knowledge of God would have come from his family and what he saw in Jerusalem. He must have grown up to see the reign of Jehoiakim. Maybe next section of the track and bring it back for us to look at. Now, the reason why, I think within about the last 40 years or 30-something years of Judah, about 4 kings reigned. Some reigned as short as 3 months. Why? Because the other empires, nations around Israel were expanding. And the position of Israel, or Judah, or both outside Israel, both the north and the south, is this. Up in the north is Assyria and Babylon. Down in the south is Egypt. So when all these powers rise, in those days, when they expand and conquer, and they want to, every nation, every empire wants to extend their territory, isn't it? So when they begin to expand their territory, they will come southward. And between the north and the south is what we call a Transjordan trade route.
You can just
and
hold
so
it.
every empire will want to take control of that trade route that connects the north to the south. Okay? So once Assyria rises up, they want to take control of the trade route, they have to pass through Israel. Israel in the north, Judah in the south, then on to Egypt. So that's why you always see that some of the kings will now decide that, you know what do we do? Let's go with Egypt. And when they go to Egypt will say, don't worry, we will defend you. And so on and so forth. There's always this battle between them. But the final battle was the Battle of Carchemish, I think in 604, when the Babylonians, when Nebuchadnezzar defeated the Egyptians, and then conquered, took control of the trade route and the whole of the territory and entered Judah. And when he entered Judah, at first, he will give them a king that will be subservient to him and so on. So this is why there were changes of kings. If you read 2 Chronicles chapter 24, you will see this succession of various kings. But through it all, I believe that Daniel must have learned some truth. Truth about God, truth about his people. When he began to pray, you see some of which we will look at next time, is that when he begins to pray, you see he will go into the history. He will be historical about it. Oh, our fathers sinned. We know. But Lord, your mercy. No, you can please forgive us. We know that. So because he knew God and he knows God historically. So the sources of his knowledge was that historically he witnessed what happened to Judah. He must have learned about Jehovah in the cross. By the time they got here as well, we also told that he was in the company of his friends or group of other royal young men. Now, this is the point I want to make. Part of that is also that they would have shared their understanding of God. The truth is that we don't know God all by ourselves. We share the knowledge of God in our community, from our community, from our Christian tradition, and so on and so forth. So, be that as it may, let's go on. Having said that, also not only that he knows he had a source for the knowledge of God, but this knowledge, we can also see that there's a strength to his knowledge of God. He had a source from his family, he had a source from his community, he has a source from his own personal relationship with God. That was when the time came and